But ignoring all that, let's just put all that aside. We didn't talk about that in our schools. We didn't talk about the theological implications of any of this. All we were left with was the bare fact that the universe was started by a Big Bang, and here we are on the Earth, and then somehow through biological, chemical, physical processes, a single-celled organism came into being. And that life then, through processes of blind evolution, as it was repeatedly stated to me, we came to exist as humans. Now, putting aside all the difficulties with that theory, let's just run with it. What does that mean for humanity? What does that mean for you? If you are the product of blind evolution, that means that you are a cosmic byproduct. As the universe exploded, it just happened to explode in such a way that you exist. And your life has no more ultimate purpose or meaning or value than does the chair you're sitting on or the computer you're watching this on. That is what it means if God does not exist. You might stop me there and say, Nabil, no, human life has more value than that. Even I'm an agnostic and an atheist, I can tell you that life has more value than that. I can see where you're coming from, but generally speaking, that value is one of two kinds. Either it's a utilitarian value, that human life is only valuable insofar as it's a tool, just like a computer or a chair. Or number two, that human life has experiential value. Because it can experience things, it has value. Well, that would lead me to ask the question, what about someone who is comatose? Is their life not valuable? These are the kinds of questions that we have to wrestle with, and I would argue that if we base our system of human value on either experience or utility, we run into tremendous problems. Again, I'm appealing to you as a medical professional or as someone interested in God and science and someone interested in humanity. I'm pretty sure you love people, whoever you are. Why is a person worth loving if they're just a clump of carbon and nitrogen? What makes them any more valuable than anything else? The thing is, we know, our hearts testify, and this isn't an argument for the existence of God, but I think it's an explanation of the way we exist. We know people are more valuable than that. That's why people like me and others have entered into the medical field. It's why people went to Africa, even at the risk of catching Ebola. It's because people have value. And that simply cannot be explained from an atheist or agnostic worldview. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that atheists and agnostics don't value human life. That's not what I'm saying at all. Some of the most decent and kind people I know are atheists and agnostics. I'm not lumping them into a category of mean people. But what I am saying is that their worldview does not sustain their character. Their worldview cannot explain their take on life. There's an inconsistency here. And if we approach the issue of human value, which we must when we talk about things like euthanasia, like abortion, like physician-assisted suicide, any of these issues, even fund allocation, as we talked about the hundreds of millions of dollars to be spent on stopping Ebola, why? Why spend the money doing that? Why not spend the money doing other things? The assumption is that human life is more valuable. But that simply cannot be sustained in a system apart from God. That's how important God is to medicine when it comes to human value.